at Steven Lorentz's game to give him the opportunity to play with Austin?
Well, it's just just throwing the lines around a little bit. I like his size. I like the way he plays the game, his pace, getting on pucks in the offensive zone, forward checking, getting to the net, things like that. He's a simple player, but I'm just looking for somebody to get in there with Matthews and Marner and create some loose puck battles and make sure he's at the net all the time and they can do their thing.
You said you wanted the team to be hungrier. That's a good word because maybe at the middle of the season when you're in first place, you're not that hungry anymore.
Well, and this time of year, you know how it's a tough stretch for everybody, I think. It's always been that way. And we just got to dig in a little bit more. We got to be a little bit more hungry and, to score goals and to get to the net more, we had puck possession in the offensive zone, and our puck possession was pretty good in the game, but it was a little bit too outside for me and not enough attempts at the net with people at the net.
And how about you as a coach you haven't had very many practices like this in the last month
Well,
or so.
no, it's hard. And, I think it's real important to practice. I really do. Morning skates aren't practice. You do kind of go through a couple drills maybe at times, but I like the pace out here today. The energy was good. It was good to get out there again. And, we just got to keep trying to find more time to practice.
On that note, for first little bit of practice, how is he progressing, Jake McCabe?
Yeah, it was great. He was out there. I know he skated a little bit before, but he did some drills with us, and he's doing really well. He is. So there's no setbacks with him, and so it's good to see.
On the note about more practice time, how do you feel getting extra work with the power play today may finally break the dam in the next couple of games?
Yeah, power play's been 23% over the last 10 games, which is pretty good, Could it be better? Yeah. For me, it's sometimes a time of game when you get a power play and you just kill your momentum with it, that's what stands out. And we've got to be better at that where we generate momentum off the power play. It doesn't always go in the net, but we got to generate momentum, and how you do that is by execution and attacking and shooting pucks.
Sometimes I asked John this, and he said sometimes you guys were accused of passing too much, and I wondered if that was out of respect for each other because they've all got such good shots and good scoring.
There's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah.
Can make it tricky sometimes, but the goal's got to be, why didn't this guy pass it to me, or he shot it, or whatever. You can't have that in your head. You got to have an opportunity to deliver the puck to the net. We got to deliver it to the net. That's how they go in the net. And with Nyzy in front of the net, he does a great job of being there all the time. He's very good at it, and our flankers and our top guy, their job's to get pucks to the net.
How would you assess Ryan Reeves' season, and are you surprised that he doesn't have a fight yet?
Am I surprised? No, not really. I mean, there's not many fights anywhere, right? I mean, this guy's been a heavyweight in this league for quite some time. There's not a lot of takers, but I think he's played good hockey for us. He is what he is, right? He doesn't try to complicate it. He's physical. I think he's been a physical player every game for us, and I love his energy, and I love him in the locker room.
How do you get more out of Max Domi offensively?
Yes, shoot the puck more. I think it's something I've stressed with Max. I think he overpasses at times, but he's a passer. We all know that, and I'm not telling. I like his playmaking ability, but there's times where he forces it a little bit too much at times when he doesn't need to, and he can shoot the puck, and he can shoot it. I don't know if were you guys watching practice today? He roofed one on the PP today. I don't know if you saw it. That's what kind of type of shot he has. He has a real good shot. Just more direct. Get on the inside a little bit more. Don't be on the outside always waiting for a pass. Like, he can get to the net more, and he can get some goals around the net. So it's just a mindset that he needs to attack at the net more with his shot and get to the net a little bit more. And he'll score more if he does that.
Arden took part in the practice with you guys for the first time in a while. How close is he to being an option for you guys?
Well, I don't know how close he is, to be honest with you. I think this was a good step in the right direction, having him out there in practice, and he's going to need some more practice time for sure, and feeling like he's ready to go. So, that's a tough timeline for me to give you on that one.
Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin to Los Angeles Kings, possible deal with Toronto Maple Leafs. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. Stay tuned for updates to see if these trades come to fruition and how they might shape the future of Toronto and Los Angeles this season. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. The Kings' situation is complex, as they are in the midst of a transitional period. Their aging roster, which includes a core group that led them to several successful playoff campaigns in the past, has seen some struggles in recent seasons. While there's a clear need for defensive help, Los Angeles may also want to improve their offensive consistency in order to make a deep playoff push. The combination of Beauchemin's defensive reliability and Versteeg's offensive upside could help the Kings balance their lineup. From the Leafs' perspective, this potential deal is about retooling for the future. The team is in a position to compete, but they also need to solidify certain areas on the ice. Adding a player like Wayne Simmonds could provide the grit and scoring touch that the team has been missing. Furthermore, acquiring a mid-range draft pick could help with future team-building efforts, as Toronto looks to remain competitive while still developing young talent. The inclusion of Kaberle in the trade package could be a strategic move for both teams. The veteran defenseman, who has been with the Leafs for a long time, has seen his role diminished in recent seasons. However, his experience and offensive abilities could be a valuable asset for Los Angeles, who could use a steady presence on the blue line to help their younger players develop. The talk surrounding Brayden Schenn's potential involvement in the deal adds an intriguing layer to the negotiations. Schenn, a versatile forward, has shown flashes of brilliance but has been inconsistent at times. If the Leafs are able to land him, it could be a great opportunity for both the player and the team to find success together. Schenn's physicality, two-way game, and leadership could be exactly what the Leafs need to bolster their forward group. While the trade market can be volatile and unpredictable, these rumors suggest that both the Kings and Leafs are preparing for significant changes. For Toronto, this could mark the beginning of a new era, with a focus on adding more experience and depth. For Los Angeles, the trade could be a chance to retool and address some of the weaknesses in their lineup, while still competing for a playoff spot this season. Of course, as with any trade rumors, it's important to remember that these discussions are fluid and can evolve quickly. There are many moving parts in these types of negotiations, and both teams will likely have to weigh their options carefully before making any final decisions. It's also possible that other teams could enter the fray, further complicating the situation. In the coming days, fans of both teams will be watching closely to see if any concrete moves are made. The NHL trade deadline is fast approaching, and teams are scrambling to position themselves for a successful postseason. Whether this rumored deal materializes or not, the possibility of a major trade between the Leafs and Kings will certainly keep fans on edge as the season continues to unfold. The trade talks involving Versteeg, Beauchemin, and potentially Simmonds or Schenn highlight the delicate balance that NHL teams must strike between immediate success and long-term growth. Both the Leafs and Kings are trying to find that balance, and this rumored deal could ultimately serve as a defining moment for both franchises. Only time will tell if these discussions lead to a significant trade that changes the course of their seasons. As the trade deadline approaches, the intensity around rumors like these only increases. Both the Los Angeles Kings and Toronto Maple Leafs are under the microscope as teams look to improve their rosters for a potential playoff push. The Kings have been known for their strong defensive play, but they are currently struggling to generate consistent offense. Adding Versteeg could address this issue, as he has proven himself as a capable top-six winger, and his experience could be crucial in the high-stakes games ahead. On the other hand, the Leafs have been one of the most exciting teams in the league offensively, but their defense has been a point of contention. Boscheman's presence on the blue line could offer much-needed stability. The veteran defenseman has the ability to shut down opposing forwards while also contributing offensively, making him an ideal fit for a team like Toronto that's looking to improve its defensive depth. There are also whispers that the Leafs could be eyeing other potential trades that could impact their future. With a number of prospects already developing in their system, the team might look to trade for established players who can make an immediate impact. This would allow the Leafs to push for a deeper playoff run while continuing to build for the future. Acquiring more assets like Schenn or Simmons could make Toronto a more well-rounded and dangerous team come postseason time. While the prospect of a trade involving Versteeg, Boscheman, and players like Simmons or Schenn is tantalizing, it's important to remember that these deals don't always go as expected. NHL trades are often a game of high-stakes negotiation, where teams must find the right balance of value for their players. If either team overpays, they could regret the deal in the long term. Therefore, both the Leafs and Kings must approach these potential trades with caution and be sure they are getting the right pieces to fit into their systems. One factor that cannot be overlooked in this trade talk is the timing. With the NHL season already well underway, teams are more reluctant to make big moves unless they're confident it will benefit them immediately. The Leafs, in particular, are in a good position to compete this season but need to fine-tune their roster to reach their full potential. If this trade is going to happen, it will likely need to be finalized soon to give the players involved enough time to settle into their new teams before the playoff race intensifies. For the Kings, the need to revamp their offense has been a pressing issue. The addition of a skilled player like Versteeg would inject some much-needed scoring depth into their lineup, but it might not be enough to make them a serious contender unless they make other moves. The Kings have a solid defensive core, and adding Boscheman could help them become even more difficult to play against in the defensive zone. If these players are swapped for the right combination of offensive firepower and draft picks, it could set the stage for a stronger second half of the season. Another element to consider is the cap space situation for both teams. The Leafs, who have a number of high-salaried players, may need to make some financial adjustments to accommodate new acquisitions. The Kings, too, will have to assess their payroll to ensure they're not stretching themselves too thin in the pursuit of improving their roster. Both teams will need to be strategic in balancing their financial commitments while also adding pieces that will make them competitive. As these trade rumors swirl, the speculation around the potential outcomes continues to fuel excitement.